Come on, y'all. Welcome to the Peace in the Morning Show. This is Darius A. Stanton, live right here on the Peace in the Morning Show. And it's Funky Friday, baby. That's right, it's Funky Friday. And we got a show for you. I've been away for a minute, but we're back at it today. So glad to see you. This is Queen Aya Sudabay with Blow By right here on the Peace in the Morning Show.
Always willing to wait. Forbearance causes self-possession to work. And you know a kind man, he never knows how to hurt. These are the virtues you want for me. Oh, this is the way that I live. And these are the things that I see. My mama, she told me, she said, blow by.
Come on, y'all. We got to blow by. Don't get caught up.
A person who is charitable expresses a brotherly love, and devotion is a service to the Almighty One whom you love. With courage we can marshal our very own power, and with precision we become exact, more accurate by the hour.
These are the virtues for you and for me. Oh, this is the way that I live, and these are the things that I see. My mama, she told me, she said, blow by. That's right, blow by. Just keep on blowing, just keep on rolling. Don't get caught up in the mix, right? We got to keep moving and grooving. This is Darius A. Stanton with the Peace of the Morning Show. It's Funky Friday, baby. And we got Dr. Lady J in the wing. She's going to be joining us soon. Dr. Lady J has a magazine that she's created and a network itself, Positive Media, pushing positive images. And today, we want to take a moment of silence just to address the many, many, many people who have lost their lives. My God, children, seniors, woman pregnant, shot, gunned down by the police, unarmed, of course. People in war-torn countries, Ethiopia, Yemen, places all over the world where people are dying. We just want to take a moment of silence at this time for those individuals. Thank you. It's so important that we address what is causing the root cause of this violence. I'm going to just share one stat with you, and then when we bring Lady J on to join the conversation, please share this show, because we're going to get at the root causes and what you can do about it. Not just talk about it, not just, complain about it or address it, but, what can we do about it? Just think about this. In the United States, in 2022 already, there have been 200 mass shootings. That's 200 mass shootings. 200. And when you think about what that looks like, it's horrific. So I want you to hold on tight. When I come back after this brief commercial break, we're going to speak with Lady J and talk a little bit about why the violence is taking place. And I'll give you some more statistics on it, but we've got to educate our community about the root causes and the power of imagery and what's taking place, because it's so many things that are happening in our communities that we're not addressing. Good morning, Queen Josephine Brown and Queen Priscilla Monroe, running for Central Committee in the state of Maryland. So congratulations to you all. Successful parade, the MLK parade. run by Chairman Josephine Brown. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and please share the show. We'll be right back with the Peace in the Morning show. This is Darius A. Stanton. It's Funky Friday, and you know we're about to get busy. Welcome forward to the Peace in the Morning show. This is Darius A. Stanton, and we are live. That's right. It's Funky Friday, baby. And coming up this weekend, there is a special event. It's going to be funky. It's not going to be on Friday. It's going to be on Sunday. It is a fashion show, and it's being hosted by none other than Lady J herself. And she's doing it because she understands the impact of images. So you're going to get a chance to hear from somebody. When I talked about, what are we going to do about the violence? It's not enough to just talk about it. It's not enough to complain. We must take action. And this is action-based media here on the Peace in the Morning show. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, but we trust not to be the last. The last time we were together, we were laughing at the Mooney Twins in Baltimore, Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Queen Dr. Lady J.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, peace and love, Queen. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Trying to get myself together. Got to get out of here. Got to keep busy. Got to keep moving. But I'm doing good.
I'm so glad to hear that. And thank you for jumping up and joining us so early in the morning.
Yeah. I like the music too. I like the music in the beginning.
Well, that's actually, that music is none other than Queen Ayasudebe, who was a co-host on the show, but also happens to be my mom. And
wow.
She has a new song that's out called Africa Light Up the World. And it is incredible. I mean, I shouldn't say I can't. I'm looking forward to it being somebody in somebody's movie. As the intro, it would have been perfect for Coming to America 3 if they do a third one, right?
I like that. Please give me her information so I can interview her. I want to play her music also.
Excellent. As a matter of fact, thank you very much. I will definitely do that. She just was informed that a school in Gambia, West Africa, which is where she is currently, is going to name the school after her. So
that's big.
Yeah, we're really excited about that because she's been doing so many wonderful things around the world. And, I was educated at home, so it started at home for us.
Right.
Before I, even went to school. But Lady J, thank you for the work that you're doing. And I first want people to know about your fashion show. And then we're going to, after we talk a little bit about that, so we can get that, out there and let people know. Then we want to talk about, the other things that you've done to create positive images in our community and positive media, and why that's so important and how that impacts the violence. I don't know. I'm sure you heard while you were in the green room, the numbers that I shared with regard to the mass shootings.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just did a show about that last night. Like, it's just crazy. That's real.
And, we talk about the mass shootings, and it's interesting. I was in a violence session last night, and they were talking about, how this is National Gun Violence Prevention Month, and how to stop it from happening. And, the question was getting rid of the guns or impacting the behavior.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that one of the gentlemen said was, because I often focus on the root cause of trauma in our communities.
Yeah.
But think about it, I talked about the mass shootings, The total number of homicides annually are 24,576 was the number of homicides that took place yesterday. So you'd have about an annual number of 25,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
that are being killed. Of that, of course, disproportionately, unfortunately, are African American males between the ages of 16 and 24 years old. Out of that 24,000, 19,000 are firearms. Here's the thing, though: 45,000 people last year committed suicide,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
more than the people who were killed. So the conversation about self and your image and how that happens. So we're gonna get into that. We'll bring the stats again to keep it fresh for everybody. But you've got an event coming up this weekend. Tell us about the event, so those folks who are able to stay on for the top part of the show can hear all about it, and then we'll come back, and talk a little bit more about the other projects that you create.
So the event that I'm doing this Sunday is called Unbroken. It's UN, got a dash in there, BROKN. Now, Unbroken, the reason I'm doing this show is because I have a son. He's 26 years old, has 2 degrees, uh, good job, no children, never been in the system, none of that. Like, overall, he's been a really good kid. Um, but racially profiled because he has locks, he has a beard, he doesn't wear a suit every day. He's a PE teacher, so he just looks like the average 26-year-old man, but gets racially profiled a lot, even at work. So I've always been big on promoting our black men. Always been a big proponent of showing the positive side of what our black men are doing, what they're into, who they are, because we see enough of our men on mugshots. Like I told everybody last night, a mugshot is not a picture that we want to portray or we want to see all the time of our black men. They do take other pictures. They do selfies. They're in fashion shows and videos and stuff like that. So the purpose of this fashion show is just to promote awareness, number one, that this racial profiling has to stop. That we have a lot of beautiful black brothers in our community with great jobs, good education, good heads on their shoulders, doing the right thing every day that they wake up. And we're going to showcase that on Sunday. So the fashion show is going to be featuring men with beards and locks, showing them in their own element. And so I don't want to go too deep into it because you'll get to see what I mean about that. But it's going to be fun, and I'm inviting everybody to come out, not just to support me, but to support them. Let's show our black brothers that we appreciate them. This is Father's Day month, and I'm doing it for that reason too, because I really want to show black men that you do have support out here. It may not seem like it, but there are some of us women who are out here. We support you, and I'm trying to have you back as much as I can.
Wow. Well, we are really excited about it. I mean, first of all, as a black man myself, I have a slight beard. Uh, no locks at the moment.
Oh my
But
goodness.
my daughter and I talked about me locking my hair recently. So if I pop up with some locks, then maybe I can be in your fashion show next year. But
It's so funny, Darius, because at the onset of this idea, the reason I really did it, I was thinking about a fashion show, but I did beards and locks because my mom is very ill. And last year, it was a lot going on with her. We didn't know if she was going to make it. My son never said anything to me. My son has never had locks. And last year, around I think January, he just started letting his hair grow out. I found out about maybe 3, 4 months ago that the reason he did that is because he wanted his grandmother to see how long she's been around since her sickness. So he has like before pictures, he has after pictures, and he's keeping track of the hair growth. And it's like a diary for her. So when he told me that, I started thinking about it. I said, well, you know what? Not only should I do the fashion show with men, but also the men who have locks. Because as I started talking to different men, my godson, I didn't know about him. He started growing his hair after his grandmother passed away. And so I started realizing that a lot of Black men have stories behind their locks. And so we're going to share little snippets of their story also at the fashion show. So, that's a little bit about that.
Wow, that's exciting. So yeah, I mean, just it's so important that we highlight the positives, right?
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
we put out those positive images. And so, how can people, where's it going to be, and what times it start, and how much does it cost?
So here's the thing: it's at 401 um, North Howard Street. I do believe in supporting Black businesses. Rennie Bass is down at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center. Some of you may know him. I will support Rennie to the ends of the earth. So everything that I have will always be at the Cultural Arts Center. And that's 401 North Howard Street. It's at the corner of Howard and Mulberry, right there at the corner, big building. We're going to be there on Sunday, June 5th. The event starts at 6 o'clock. Tickets start at $25. And as a matter of fact, when you come into the Downtown Cultural Arts Center, we're going to be downstairs in the vault. Wait till y'all see what the vault looks like. It's really
Mm.
nice. It's so nice. But the tickets are $25. And
Where
that's
can they get tickets from?
they can go on Eventbrite. If you go on Eventbrite and you put in Unbroken, UNBROKN, it'll pop up Unbroken the fashion show, or you can cash app $ WHATUP Baltimore. So it'll be your $ what up Baltimore. And you can get your tickets. They start at 25. That's for general seating. If you want front row, it's 30. If you want the VIP chairs where you can sit by yourself in a cushion seat, those are 35, and you get a gift bag. So, but it's going to be nice. I'm really excited about it.
How many models do you have?
I have seven. Is
Okay.
it 7 or 8? Yeah.
Hey,
All
ladies.
ages, Darius, because women have been asking, how old are they? Are they single? Listen, y'all, like I tell everybody, I don't know.
But
I
they
don't know.
wanted to know. They wanted to know if they were single.
Yes, they want to know if the men are single, but I will say that we have 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and 40-year-olds. We had someone in his 50s, but he backed out. But those are the ages, and beautiful Black men, beautiful brothers, intelligent brothers. Wait till y'all see them. I'm not gonna say too much about them, but wait till y'all see them.
I know
It's
that's
gonna be
right.
nice.
So you got 20, 30, 40s. You got the whole gamut.
Yeah.
Just maybe next time you'll have a silver fox fashion show.
I would love to. This has given me so many ideas because now men have been coming to me like, when are you doing your next fashion show? I have so many brothers who have the bald heads and the beard. They want me to do a fashion show for them. Like, it's so amazing how one idea can just grow into something big. So, it's giving me ideas to do different things. And I think the one thing as women, we do a lot of stuff. We have our fashion shows, but I do want to do more for men. So I think that, it's going to be some other fashion shows coming up.
Wow. Sister Priscilla wanted to know what she could do to support you, Dr. J. And she actually has a poem called Phenomenal Men. And I think she's saying she'd be willing to come out and present it. And actually,
Can you come out on Sunday? That would be perfect.
she's been on the Peace in the Morning show, and I'm telling you, it's brought some men almost to tears,
I think I
so
follow her. I think
yeah.
her name sounds familiar.
Yeah. So definitely, I'm glad to know that people are willing to come out and support. Thank you,
Yes.
Sister Priscilla, because she's a beautiful spirit and soul. So when you think about what you're doing with regard to these images, and how important is it that people support and promote positive images of Black men in particularly? I mean, why is that a real focus for you? I know you mentioned about your son and how we have these things that are plagued, but how do you think it impacts young men to see other Black men, younger boys and men? How do you think that impacts young people?
It impacts them a lot because here's the thing: if we don't push and promote and uplift the Black men in our community, who's going to do it? I've been saying this on the air for I don't know how many years. Who is going to do it? So, as even before I had my son, I was married, and I always promoted and uplifted my husband, my ex-husband, even when I was going through the divorce. And we had some struggles going through the divorce, but he can never tell you that I ever allowed anyone to disgrace his name, to talk about him. I said, that's the one thing you won't do. That was for family, friends, everybody. Because, divorces can be messy. But that's where I drew the line. I will not be that woman who is putting down a Black brother. I don't care who you are. And I've been hurt by some Black men, but I will not put you down, because if we continue, if we start pushing and continue to push our Black men down, and we don't think they're great, and we don't think they're ever going to be anything, and they're this, that, and the third, what is everybody else going to be doing? We're in the community. And so what is that saying to the younger men, like my son's age, and those that are younger, if they see us as adults, not promoting, not pushing, not making sure that they're good and they have opportunities to do things, if we don't do it, I keep telling people nobody's coming for us. Nobody's coming to help us. So we got to do it in the community. It's up to us. And I'm just that one person,
I love the fact that you've taken on the initiative, to be involved. And so give us again the details. I'll put it up on the screen. And then we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the stats and what's transpiring, with these violent incidents, but also we're going to talk about, what you're doing and what you created. And now over a year celebrating in terms of an anniversary. So give us the details again.
So everybody, the details of this, the fashion show is called Unbroken, UN, just like it is on the screen. You put the little dash in there, BROKN. Let me say this, the reason it's called Unbroken is because what I see in Black men is that you guys are resilient, even though some Black men have fallen to the wayside, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But there's a whole bunch of Black men who are resilient. They're out here doing what they're supposed to do. And it just shows me that you are saying to the world, you can come for me, you can do whatever you want. I am going to remain unbroken. So that's what this title of the fashion show, that's what that came from. The show is on Sunday, this coming Sunday, June 5th, 401 North Howard Street, right here in Baltimore. We're going to be downstairs in the vault. The tickets start at $25. You can get them on Eventbrite. Just type in Unbroken, the fashion show on Eventbrite, or you can cash app $ what up Baltimore, no S, what up Baltimore, and we'll hold your tickets until you get here.
Hey, we're excited. And I also remember you saying for $35, you can come sit up front in the big comfortable seats and walk away with a gift bag.
You get a gift bag. We want people to come, enjoy yourself. If you've been to the Cultural Arts Center, right?
I have not been to the vault yet, though. I haven't. Okay. I got it. So I'm looking forward to that.
They have Darius. They fixed it up. It's so nice down there. And the thing I like about the Cultural Arts Center is whenever you come in there, you just feel like you're at somebody's house. It's like you're at home. You can chill, relax, go to the refrigerator, get some water. It's just a comfortable place. So we want to have that same comfort level downstairs. When you come in, we want you to mingle, network, talk. We want you to come and have a good time, and we want to give people a gift bag. If you want a VIP seat and you want to sit there, we want to give you a gift bag for coming out.
Awesome. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be talking with Lady J about all the things that she's been doing to create positive images and media in our community. And we'll talk a little bit more about the homicides, the suicides, the mass shootings, and how images are really creating mental pictures in our young people's minds that would make them want to go out and kill an entire school or shoot each other just for sport or for $500 or $1,000 or $5,000. Do you know people are being paid $500, $1,000 to take somebody's life over something they don't even have an idea as to the reason why they're doing it in a lot of these instances. So we'll be right back here on the Peace in the Morning Show.
Power Generation Network is a catalyst to promote Black businesses, providing sustainable solutions that impact our local businesses, our communities, and our families. Washington, D.C., Prince George's County, Maryland, and Atlanta, Georgia are all thriving metropolises. How did it get that way? Leaders came together and took a stand. They put policies in place that made sure black businesses and black people benefited from the contracts and the industries that were being developed. That set the stage for an environment where black people opened doors for others in their community. They were connected and shared their resources. Power Generation Network is fostering that culture all over the country. People of color will create opportunities for each other. Businesses that are committed to excellence will work together, employing the local community, lending capital, and so much more. We use state-of-the-art technology and innovative networking platforms that connect your business with the right people and resources to better manage your businesses and increase your bottom line. Power Generation Network, join our team. We're already on yours.
All right. Well, speaking of teams, you've created quite a bit of teams. We're here with Dr. Lady J. She is doing a fashion show this weekend. She gave details about it. I'll put it up on the screen so you all can check it out. But, you created some major projects this past year in 2021. And as today's show is about images that impact the violence in our community, we really want to be able to have people understand how devastating, this has been for our communities and what it's doing to not only the children in our community, but just think about the families that are being impacted as a result of loss. Think about this. Yeah. In 1990, the District of Columbia was known as the murder capital of the world. And they used that title because DC had over 500 homicides. Those 500 homicides impact us significantly because if you think about that, multiply the 16,000 or so that are killed annually, right, around the country, and then multiply that times 30. It's been 30 years since that time. Plus, you multiply that number of homicides times 30. Ask yourself the question, where are the fathers and the grandfathers for the children that are growing up? I wouldn't be the man that I am today if, in fact, I didn't have fathers, grandfathers, uncles, people that were in my life that, I could look up to, that I could model after, that I could see take care and raise their family, that I could see work and hustle and do everything they could to make sure that ends were meeting. What is it that, what do we do in an instance where 30,000 plus, just think of how many, that's 100,000 plus fathers gone, never to return. Grandfathers gone, never to return. What are those children going to do? And that's something that I think that we don't, we kind of dismiss, but that void is real. And, we need to know, so please, pay attention to what's transpiring. And, one of the things that we're talking about is the images and how media portrays what's going on in our society. And you think about the video games, after all of this shooting and killing, who would still buy their child in 2021 a video game, Call of Duty? You have sons, what's your mindset with regard to just, the video games and the images that our young people see? You think about the music videos and the music that encourages us to keep shooting and killing each other. We go to funerals of children, of young people. At the repast, they're playing songs that talk about shooting and killing each other. On the way to the funeral, we're listening to music on the radio that's talking about shooting and killing each other. And we don't make the connection. Am I off base there, Lady J?
You're not. And let me say this to everybody, because sometimes people are like, well, how do you know? Do you know what you're talking about? So let me always start off with this. I have my doctorate in divinity, but I studied mental health in the church and in the community. Um, and I'm very big on mental health. And the thing about it is that we're living in a world and a society right now where people don't care. um, I've said this several times, that if parents, I'm an old school parent, if parents don't get it together and be a parent to their children, whether you're a single mom or a two-parent household, if we don't get it together and raise these children the way we are supposed to, and stop being their friends, stop thinking everything is cute, stop putting everything on social media. Now we're friends with our children. It's okay for us to be on social media with our boys doing certain things and our girls showing off all of their assets. It's okay now. That's the norm. Be careful what the media feeds you. The media feeds you what they want you to see. And I'll share this thing with you. Now, when before, pandemic, and when social media was just coming out, it was very easy, Darius, and I don't know if you experienced this, to have a show, and right off the bat, you can have 9, 10,000 viewers just like that, no problem. um, Now, what I've seen and what I've watched over the past, I'm going to say 3 years, is that social media and the media promotes what they want you to see. They promote the women out here being ratchet, fighting, doing all kinds of stuff. They promote our men out here acting crazy with the guns and calling women bees and hoes and all this kind of stuff. They promote all of that, but you can have people like myself, you, other people who are doing positive shows, trying to make a positive impact on the community. Social media might let you get 100 people watching. They
Mm.
now monitor who sees what. There are times when I have shows on and people are like, Lady J, did that show come on? Did your show come on? I don't see it. I'm like, it's on, it's live. They monitor what they see because
Right.
they don't want our community to see people like us on the screen. They don't want that. And so they will block certain shows and certain things that are going on. Be careful, people, what you allow your children to watch and what you're sitting there watching in front of them. Because everything that you take in, don't think it doesn't have an impact on you, because it does. And if we don't get a handle as adults on what we're allowing our children to take in, you were talking about video games, and pandemic has come through, and parents were getting so frustrated. I do counseling and therapy sessions. Parents were getting so frustrated, they just set their kids in front of a video game. I had one parent who just would let her child, she would give him allowance. He was able to buy games, and he's 9 years old, able to buy any game he wanted, play it online, do different things. That was their out. We have to get more involved in our community and in these children, because if we don't, Darius, it ain't gonna be no more children left. Our boys are already being killed off. I don't know how we're going to reproduce later on, because they're killing off our boys right now. A lot of them are not making it to 25. And so this is why it's important as a community that we start coming together. We stop fighting each other, but we start coming together and we do some positive things. We make positive impacts into the community, bring our resources back into to the community to show these young people that you do have a way out. The end of your street is not what you can see. That's not the last thing that you can see. There is a big, beautiful world out here. But for some people, the farthest they will get is the end of their street, because that's all that they see. And it's
Mm. Yeah, to know that people are in a position in America where, we're using music that's played that is targeting, our communities. Um, I think it was MTV, Jesse Ventura, former governor, came out and said when he worked for MTV, they literally sent an email out and told people, do not play any more conscious music. any more positive hip hop, don't play it. Um, Sheila Johnson, who's the former founder or the founder of BET, um, said that when she started to see the decline in the content and the videos, they pushed back. You know, she said, but she was so saddened by where BET had gone. You know, and this is the founder. And
Right.
I was so glad to hear that, because I was just distraught behind the fact that you know, here we had this great medium, you know, where Black people were watching every day. You know, we come home from school and you sit down and you watch the videos, and you had all these positive music out there. And next thing you know, it went to just ratchet, you know, women now. I mean, just think about this is a whole nother conversation, Lady J. We can come back on another time. But to think about the body shaming that women have gone through and the self-imaging issues that women have that are making them go out and have not breast reduction because of cancer, but breast increases,
What implants? Like,
butt
it's
implant.
crazy.
You know, there's a
Be
whole
happy
reality.
with who you are, you know, be happy with who. And I tell women this all the time. I'm single now, been single for a while, happily single. If you're not happy with my butt and my breasts and everything that I got, that's your business. I ain't going out here getting nothing. These waist trainers holding yourself in and all of that. Be happy with who you are. Stop letting society dictate to you how they feel you should look and how they feel you should act. That's the problem. That's why they're getting away with it. And I'm like you, Darius, when I heard about BET and all these there were other people who were kind of on the rise in media, African Americans, and people just started giving up. We can't give up. We can't fall back. We have to keep going and we have to keep pushing, because they have to understand that you're not going to keep us quiet. Even if we do a show and you only allow 50 people to watch. Well, that was 50 people who can keep spreading what we're doing. But you're not going to stop what we're doing. We have to be a movement. But as a race, we give up too quickly. And we start buying in. And that's what happens when people keep feeding you something and you keep taking it in and you keep taking it in. And then it becomes the norm for you. What's happening, people, is not normal. That should not be the norm for us. Because not only is it affecting us as adults, it's affecting our children.
Wow. You know, Lady J, you said something that really touched me. Um, and that is just the fact that if something negative happens, if you get a slap, if somebody disrespects somebody, like you said, if you have Black women that are fighting, you know, on a reality show, um, it's so bad that our children now, you said it earlier, they mimic what we do.
They do.
So if you're in a car and you listen, and my children, so just to give you a little insight into the Stanton world, right? My children listen right now to Roy Ayers, and you know, they listen to music that I listen to, because what I played for them was music that, you know, my parents played for me, right?
Right.
But if I had something that was in the car that was a little bit too much, I'm turning it down.
Thank
Or I'm
you.
turning the radio. Now, you know, I'm not perfect, so I'm not the perfect parent by no stretch of the imagination. Because one of the things that I did wrong that my children had picked up, I ran Boys and Girls Clubs for years. So at one point in time, I had like 18 different sites, you know, that I managed, and so I was on the phone all the time, right? So guess what? My children, when they drive now, all adults, you know, they got the cell phone, right? So I have to now break that habit myself. So I'm guilty of it too. I'm not passing judgment. You know, this is real. This is real time. You know, media that we dealing with. But to know that when our children, what we're playing, they're watching us and they're mimicking it. You know, and the violence that takes place. You know, I'm gonna give you another statistic. When you talk about the violence in our community, 50% of domestic violence is happens because of alcohol. Alcohol is involved. 50% of homicides, alcohol is involved. And 50% of domestic violence, of sexual assaults, alcohol is involved. And I'm saying that because I want people to understand the value of doing research, number one, right? And understand the root cause. But if we're, in and around doing anything around our children, it's not enough to just say, do as I say, not as I do, because they don't watch what you say. They
Mhm.
watch what you do.
And what you don't do, they watching that too.
And they watch what you watch, and they watch what you listen
Exactly.
to. They're soaking
Exactly.
it up like a sponge.
Exactly.
And if you know they're soaking it up like a sponge, and they're paying attention to you, then you have to create positive frames of reference for your children.
Hmm.
You have to be very intentional about it. And it's not, if all things were equal, man, sure, maybe you could let them listen to this, watch, something that was really kind of off the hook. But things are not equal.
Right. Right.
And the issue about young ladies, and how they're dressing, and how they're, carrying themselves based on show as much as you possibly can.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And I mean, that's the thing, right?
If you guys reach out and touch them or put your hands on them, then you're in trouble. But we never say, and I'm not saying that, I'm not throwing the ladies under the bus or anything like that, because you can be completely dressed and you still have perverts out there. But when you put yourself on display, and sometimes I'm out at the store and I see women, I'm like, really? Like, where were you going when you got up this morning? We at Walmart. Like, where
Right,
were you going? Because you look like you're going to a show. You got
right.
all your breasts hanging out. You all dressed like, where you going early in the morning time looking like that? And when men are visual, and so if a man says something to you or they're trying to touch you and then you pull them back, you got an attitude, sister. You got to check yourself. And I'm real clear about that. Check yourself. Because if you putting yourself on display, just like when we go to stores and sometimes things are so beautiful in the store and they have their sign, don't touch, because it's something that they value. And so they tell you don't touch it. But if you but your inner soul wants to touch it, because it's like, oh my goodness, that is so pretty. I just gotta reach out and touch it. And I have sometimes, I've touched stuff they say don't touch. But I say that to say that women, you're valuable. You're diamonds. And sometimes the way that I see women walking around, you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to do all of that. And most men, correct me if I'm wrong, Darius, but most men don't want to deal with a woman that's been opened up, touched, and been ran through like the doorknob, turned like the doorknob. Most men don't want that. They'll play with you, but at the end of the day, when they're looking for that real woman to be with, you're not going to be that woman, because men don't want a woman that everybody has had.
So, this goes back to the imagery, and shout out to not shout out, but let me acknowledge the Queen, Val Jenkins, hugs don't shoot,
Yeah,
founder.
Val. Yeah.
No doubt. And Val said good morning, but she also said, regardless of how a woman's dressed, it doesn't give the man the right to touch the woman, but she gets it. No, you're right about that. But the image that you portray, what is it saying about you? No, nothing gives men the right to touch or disrespect a woman.
Nope.
Nothing on no day, no way, no shape, no form. But what we also have to realize is what represents respect for yourself.
And let me say this. I get her point. Hey, Val, I get her point. But I'm still not going to excuse a woman who, and this is just my opinion, we need to be mindful of what we wear and who in this society that we live in. Now, let me say this. Let me take a little bit deeper. I see TikTok videos, all of these reels and stuff going on with women who are not dressed properly. You got your little kid. Some of these little babies are like 2, 3, 4 years old. You got them shaking and doing all kinds of stuff. Do you all understand that pedophiles are out here? There are predators out here looking at your children, and you're putting them on display and you're like, oh, it's so cute. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes, it is. It is. There are predators. I counsel people whose children have been molested. So we got to be very mindful. Everything is not cute, and that's what I'm saying about this whole social media and what we see and all this everything is putting in front of us, and we're taking it, and now we're starting to make excuses for, oh, it's cute, oh, it's okay. It's not cute and it's not okay. When did that change? Because these people sit behind the screen, men and women who are predators, and they're looking at your children, what you're doing with their children, and getting off on it, and that's not cute. I'm not going to make excuses, and I'm not going to apologize, because I talk to people every day. I'm not going to do it.
The image piece is also so critical, because if you think about what women are doing, men are doing to themselves, just because of what society kind of drives you towards. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to the issue of violence, I explained this yesterday. We talk about, because it's something that is, first of all, is something that has been sensationalized, and the mass media decided to talk about. They decided to talk about homicides. They decided to talk about gun violence. They decided to talk about mass shootings. But what about the women that are being abused? What about the men that are being sexually assaulted? What about the little boys that are being sexually assaulted? And the amount of that are being fed by those pedophiles? The amount of human trafficking and missing children that are taken into the sex industry.
Right.
It's a form of violence. The Catholic Church and the amount of rapes of children all over the world. France released a report this year that said that 220,000 children had been abused by priests in France from the Catholic Church. 220,000 as recent as 2021. And so that's a form of violence. And those images that are out there, and people, and they're not talking about that. Right? Why is that not a conversation that we are not addressing? Because
it's not put out in the front. Like we see how this works. We see how this works. I said on a show a few weeks ago, I guess COVID is over, because we don't talk about it anymore. As soon as the Ukrainian war came in, the mask mandates were being moved, and you can go here and you can do this and you can move about. Now we're focused on Ukraine. Then we're focused on the gas prices. The media pushes us into this fear complex where we start being so afraid of everything. And please don't send me nothing saying anything about COVID. I'm not saying COVID is not real. What I'm saying is that the media will dictate what they want us to hear and see. And so they'll throw the Ukrainian thing in front of us so much that we forget about COVID. Now we're focused on the Ukraine. And so the Ukraine means that our gas prices are going to go up. And we start shifting our focus over here. Now, pretty soon, when everything quiets down, we'll get back to, we might need to wear the mask again. Another wave of something is going to come through that they'll be talking about.
Well, they're already talking about a monkey virus.
Monkey virus. So this thing with the media is so deep. And Black people, we need to wake up. And this is why I love Roland Martin, because Roland walked away and Roland started his own thing. I love what he's doing, because at some point in time, we have to wake up and we have to say, we're going to stop ingesting what you are feeding us. We're going to stop taking all of this in and chewing it up and swallowing it and acting like it's okay. It's not okay.
Not okay.
It's not okay.
Yeah, Val brought up, she said she's loving the conversation, but great points. But she also brought up, she said, a woman like herself, she's very shapely, regardless if she wear a blanket. Men are going to be disrespectful and don't care. This is the key here is, this goes back to imagery.
It does.
Because image, if you show images of men respecting women, and so many instances, I'll give you an example. In DC, back to what's priority for people. right? And I think this is really important. And we're gonna shift gears, take a quick break, and then get into your other media outlets. We got Dr. Lady J. If you just joined us, Dr. Lady J's on the line on the show today. I just came off the radio, forgive me, and she is talking to us about a fashion show that she's doing to highlight the positive things and positive images of Black men, in particular ones who are discredited, which are brothers with locks and brothers with beards, right? But she's doing a
We
fashion
coming for you,
show.
Darius. We coming for you. We
Yeah,
coming.
you come. Okay, hey, it's all good. I like I said, I'm a supporter of my brothers, uh, and but the issue of men and respecting comes from imagery,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you have shows on television or events or things that show men and boys how to respect women versus disrespect them, you create a different mentality, but you've got to have men there to even do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got to even have men for them to model after.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why it's so important for you to, if you're involved, want to, there's a program we have called the Black Wall Street Mentoring. Put your name in the chat. I'll reach back out to you. Hit me up on social media. It's called Black Wall Street Life Coaching. And we're training young men how to become men, training young boys how to become men and how to dress, how to respect women, how to respect yourself, how to take care of yourself. Those things are really important. So we need men to volunteer to participate in that process, because I mentioned to you earlier in the show that we lose almost 15,000 men a year over the last 30 years in our inner cities.
Yeah.
Who's going to take up the void of those fathers and grandfathers that are no longer here anymore? Val wants the information on the web, so we're going to make sure we tag you, Val, on the fashion show, because Val wants to pump that out and get it out there. Haki Ami, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, no doubt. So look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come right back, we're going to jump into it and talk about what it is that Lady J has been doing to get involved in promoting positive media, because she's doing a lot, and we want to be able to support her not only here but on the other events that she's doing in her other products. Right back. We'll be right back with the Peace in the Morning Show. All right, welcome forward. This is Darius Saystant with the Peace in the Morning Show. It's Funky Friday. Right now, we're dealing with the issues of violence in our community, the images. I'm joined this morning by Dr. Lady J. Thank you so much for being here, Lady J.
Absolutely.
No doubt. We're about to wrap up the show, but I wanted to let people know that this weekend, Dr. Lady J is hosting a fashion show, and the fashion show is focused on making sure that our young people, our men, have positive images in their community and able to see what's going on. And it's called Unbroken. This Sunday, June 5th, 401 North Howard Street. You can go on Eventbrite. Tickets are from $25 to $35. And, tell, the ladies want to know, are the men single? Are they ready to mingle? And do they jingle? No, I'm just joking. I had the jingle part, but Lady J, so what should the ladies and gentlemen look forward to this weekend with the fashion show?
Most of all, I want us to look forward to having fun with each other, Darius. This year, a part of my business, what I'm doing this year is I'm going to be doing live entertainment, because we don't have enough going on in Baltimore City, and we don't have a lot of positive events that are affordable for us to come to. So I'm going to be doing events like pretty much every other month this year for people to come out to and support. And it's going to be for us, adult entertainment. Not that kind of adult entertainment, but we can come out as adults. Let me fix that up. Adults,
Yeah,
pumping
because
people
they're gonna be lined up. They're gonna be lined up. I talked about. I just real quick. I started down the path talking about. There was a brother who in DC had has a charter school, and Richard Wright Charter School, as a matter of fact. And this charter school was having problems with their young girls being catcalled, right?
wow.
Catcalling is when, old guys are like, hey, what's up, baby? Hey, short, hey, honey, girl, you looking good. Man, you fat. All of those kinds of things to women they don't know, often don't speak to. And those are forms of disrespect.
Yes.
And they were doing it, to young girls. These are older men trying to approach these younger women. So he had a march. So you had less than 100 people show up for that. When DC wanted to cancel or move a go-go, a station, a store that played go-go music real loud on the corner of U 7th and U, they had thousands of people show up. Again, the priority.
Right.
Where's the priority to make sure that our young girls are respected by older men in our community? And again, what it is that's attractive and sexy to us, is what draws. So if you said you had a fashion show with adult entertainment,
I have a line down Howard Street and Mulberry Street.
okay. So now we're talking about uplifting positive men.
Yes.
And so what we've got to do, and what we need you to do right now is we need you to share this show. We need you to share Lady J's show. She's going to now talk about, the work that she's doing, but we need you to share this constantly, because the ones who own these social media platforms, they're not interested in us promoting positive images, because people don't think positivity sells. Prove them wrong. Make it sell. Support the Piece of the Morning Show with Love Stream 422. Hit us our Cash App. I'm going to send Lady J's Cash App so you can support the work that she's doing. We need the positive media. Val Jenkins, check her out. Hugs Don't Shoot. Support what she's doing. You've got to push people. The only way these things are going to change is when you're ready to be bold for good. As long as you keep laying back and complaining and crying and not doing anything about it, and allowing us to make it, just by the chance of the good Lord, we need your help. We need your support. We need your funding. We need your sponsorship. We need you to pour into people that are pouring into people. Right. So, Lady J, you're celebrating a big year, 1 year anniversary. With your existing ventures, you started a whole network,
a movement by myself,
and a magazine. Tell us all about it, so we can get people to support it and be a part and follow your network.
Yeah, so my network is I love Baltimore. I love my city, and somebody told me that I was making a mistake by naming my station What Up Baltimore Online Radio. But if anybody who knows me, you know that I don't listen to people. I pray to the good Lord, and that's what I listen to. And I lean on my upbringing, which was great. So I decided anyway to name my station WUBO, which is What Up Baltimore Online Radio. I have a magazine. It's called What Up Baltimore. I love my city. I love the people in it, and so I did it, and I've been blessed because this station I had the idea to start it in January. Prior to that, I was a partner with someone at their station. I got what is the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness, I'm losing my words. But anyway, I got discovered in 2019 at the Stellar Awards. Somebody discovered me, said I had a nice voice, you should go into radio. So I did that. And so I just started this whole thing in 2019. 2021, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my own station. And I'll be honest with you, Darius. I talked to a lot of y'all that's probably watching me, asking you to help me to show me how to get a radio station started. But I heard crickets. So I said, okay, no problem. No problem. So I actually sat on YouTube and I looked at YouTube for about 3 weeks. I looked at people's shows. I studied how to start a radio station, how to set up the station. I researched what's the best station. Um, Learned about StreamYard because I didn't know all about this stuff. I learned it from YouTube. God has blessed us on the other side. With the station is doing really well. I have 14 shows right now, 14 hosted shows right now, and we have the magazine. I took a break in December from the magazine because I was in school. I graduated last July with my doctorate, and I just finished chaplaincy school in March. I graduated again. So I took a break from the magazine because the magazine is a lot of work, but we're going to get back to the magazine. The magazine is What Up Baltimore Magazine. And I basically focus on the great things, the positive things that are going on in Baltimore City, because nobody's doing it right now in the big media. So I decided to use my media. Um, I pay for it. I don't charge you to be in it. People tell me that I'm crazy. So some things may change because, like Darius said, support us. I have not gotten the support in return on a lot of things that I'm doing. So, but it's been a blessing because God has blessed this thing to grow in a mighty way and has taken me from being just this lady who lives in Baltimore to being called to do really great things. And Darius, I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing out of everything that I've done, and I've traveled everywhere within the past couple of years, just doing shows out of state and everywhere people are calling me. Um, the biggest thing for me was I was sitting when the George Floyd thing happened, when he passed away, I was sitting in front of the camera, in front of the TV, and I was saying, Lord, I wish I could just interview the family. I wish I could just pray with them, do something. Um, Last year in October, October 2021, I got a call from George Floyd's family. They actually paid for me to be their private media person, took me out to LA with them. We spent the whole week out there. They put me up in this beautiful hotel that was as big as my apartment out in Beverly Hills. Spent time with Tavis Smiley out there and some other people that work out on shows in Hollywood, and it was amazing. And so I have been blessed, and I want to continue to bless our people, bless our community. This year, my give back is doing some live events and bringing us together, and also to network with other people like you, Darius, and other people to say, let's come together. Let's pull our resources together and let's show people how to have their own shows, their own networks, their own magazines, because it's possible. You can do anything that you want to do. Anything. And I don't know if y'all know my story, but I've had 3 strokes and a heart attack. The last stroke was in 2017. So I've had to learn how to walk and talk 3 times and get this mind back together. So, you can do anything that you want to do. And that's why I don't accept excuses from people, because I've had to struggle to get to where I am. And now my struggle is going out into the community and my community, my city, to make sure that I can show these kids that you can have your own network, your magazine, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm here to help. That's what I'm here for.
Wow, well, the people are loving you. Uncut Live Productions, our good brother over in DC. Actually, he's in DC, PG, Baltimore. The brother's doing all kinds of wonderful things. Matter of fact, we were just over in Southeast DC. A young man, 16 years old, was killed.
Wow.
I hosted with a sister, Palms Up, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton, over in Woodbury Village. And, the police said, yo, if we not here, y'all gonna get robbed. It's a rough part of Southeast right off of Sutton Parkway. But so many of our, communities are being impacted, and we need that positive media. We need that impact. God bless you.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but let me say this about our community as well. The communities want us to come in. It's people in the communities, they want us to come in. They can't get to us. They want us to come in. I walk these streets of Baltimore by myself. And y'all, I know y'all see the crime in Baltimore, but when I'm out there on the streets, Darius, homeless people look out for me. The boys that hang on the corner, they say, "Hey, yo, Lady J, you good? You good?" They stand on the corner until I finish doing my interviews and I'm doing my stuff. And so we have to get up and we got to get out of our comfort zone and go out into the community. I'm going out when I finish talking to you today. They call me boots on the ground. I'm putting my boots on and my shorts, and I'm going out in the community today. Those are the things we have to do. And one last thing before I say goodbye is one thing we didn't talk about is the churches. Where are the churches at? You got a church on every corner along with a bar, but the bars managed to stay open throughout the pandemic. Churches were closed, and now churches are open. And I still don't see y'all because I'm out. I'm talking about Baltimore because I'm out here on the street. Still don't see y'all. But this is what I did, Darius, because I don't ever want to put everything on somebody else. I started a community church at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center. And we're there every Saturday from 11 to 12:30. Now, I told you all my focus and my degree was in mental health in the church and in the community. So this is not church as usual. I'm there talking about real issues, trending topics to help our people in our community to understand why we act the way we do. How do we move from where we are to where we need to be? And the community church has been doing very well, and people are coming out. People want to know better. They want to do better. They want to be better. But we got to be the ones to step up.
That is so. First of all, congratulations on taking that step, and the fact that you hit on something that's so key. People don't realize Baltimore City had, led the nation in juvenile homicides 10 out of the last 20 years. People don't realize that in Baltimore City, up until Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake's Baltimore was in office, Baltimore had 500 liquor licenses over the legal limit. Over the legal limit. And if you think about that, 500 liquor stores over the legal limit. She cut it back to about 350, maybe 325. That's still over the legal limit. Everywhere there's a study, and I always talk about it, that the Baltimore City Health Department did back in 2009 that showed where there are a lot of homicides. If you had a map and you put red dots on homicides and shootings and where they are in the city, and then you took another layer and you put a yellow over top of that was alcohol, where liquor stores are. Where there are liquor stores, there are homicides. Where there are liquor stores, there's shootings. Where there are liquor stores, there's high rates of domestic violence, child abuse, and neglect. Where you don't see a lot of liquor stores, up in the Upper Park Heights, Canton, in that area, you got to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks before you get a liquor store. In our neighborhoods, every other corner, if not every corner, going down Monroe Street. I'm counting. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing Baltimore. I lived in Baltimore. I grew up there, so I know it. I know the city, right? If you're going Greenmount, okay, North Avenue. If you Pennsylvania Avenue, you go up and down the block. You see liquor store after liquor. If you go to Philly, liquor store after liquor store. Guess what else you see? You also see churches.
They look like museums now.
And we get distracted. Because, and then like you said, why aren't we out in the street? Lady J, we could talk all day. I see we got a lot, and the people are really feeling you. People put their number in the chat. They want to make sure that they get with you. Make sure you share this show. Push this positive media, right? Because we have got to be able to we got to push our own positive images. And that's why I want y'all to do what y'all can to get out to Lady J's fashion show this weekend.
Come on out, y'all. Come on out. I'm going to put my number in here also, Darius. I'm very big on giving people my number. I put it in the private comment in the you can feel free to put it out for everybody. What do you say? Some of the churches have lost their identity. Time for them to step up. And you know what, Uncut Live, I'm not even waiting for them to step up. That's why I went and got my chaplaincy license, and I'm a licensed pastor. So I don't have to wait for them anymore. We got to go into our community and save our children and save the adults. So I'm not waiting for nobody. I'm going to continue being this one woman, I don't want to say show, but this one woman who's going out here, and I'm going out into my community until my eyes close and I can't do it anymore. My number is there, Darius. So if anybody wants to start my number, if you need counseling, therapy, I am a licensed pastor, chaplain. I also am a certified life and spiritual coach. I have my doctorate in divinity if you need me to come and speak. And my study was in mental health in the church and in the community. So I'm very much about coming out and helping wherever I can. If my schedule permits, I will be there.
Hey, look, y'all heard it right here. I'm so glad we connected.
Yeah.
You know, Val put her information out there. Uncut Live put his Uncut Productions, the good brother, put his information out there. So, you know, we need to support each other. And I want you all to put this on your calendars because I need you to be in the house. July 8th and 9th at Morgan State University, we're hosting a statewide Black Leadership Conference.
Oh, wow.
And we're asking all media, all community organizations, business leaders to be in the building. That's July 8th and 9th at Morgan State University. We're hosting a conference focused on the crises that are taking place in the Black community and strategies. So when you come away, it's not just to hear people talk. Mm-hmm. You'll have some tangible things set up. So you'll be able to set up your LLC. You'll be able to start the process of getting life insurance if you don't have life insurance. You have to start the process of putting your will together so that your your assets are protected. You'll have an emergency preparedness kit and safety training so that you can have the basics, you know, how to get CPR and first aid, things that can save people's lives. What to prepare, how do you prepare yourself if there is a violent situation that takes place in your community? How do you prepare yourself if there is a natural disaster taking place? These are the things that, you know, we're dealing with in our community that we're going to bring to the forefront. So July 8th and 9th, please, Lady J, you have an invitation to come set up your network, you know, your shows. You know, we're going to have a space for you. We really need you to be there. And thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Thank you all for joining the show today. Hey, look, this is the Piece of the Morning Show with Darius A. Stanton. Lady J is in the house. You know, we started off with our queen, Aya Sudebe, and her music.
Yes.
So kick it off and close it out with that. It's Funky Friday, so get a little jam session. You know, we always jam on Funky Friday, Lady J.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to do my best to get out there to the fashion show. But I really appreciate you all being with us today. Keep sharing the show all day long. We got to talk about the images that are impacting our children in violence. Next week, we're going to address the violence as well. Juneteenth is coming up, so it's a Juneteenth parade in Annapolis, a big celebration. Avery Sunshine's going to be performing right after the parade. Host of a Chuck Brown band is going to be there. This is in Annapolis, Maryland on June 19th. So June 18th, excuse me. So a lot going on, a lot coming up, but we've got to make sure that we take our time for our people. And I want to do this quick, peaceful moment. Now more than ever, for the peaceful moment, I want us to focus on love. Because love is what's really impacting our lives. We live in a society that's focused on the deficits. We focus on what's wrong. We focus on the ugly things. But we're not focused on love. We're not promoting love. We're not pushing the beautiful things that happen to families, the graduations, the thousands of dollars that children are getting for scholarships. You know, the young man who in the same day saved a woman from a burning building and a baby. You know, these are the kinds of stories that are not getting millions of hits. You've got to make that happen. You've got to start pushing love. You have to start speaking love into existence. You have to start praying love. You have to start meditating that the world will still move to a place of LOVE versus HATE. I don't even say the word HATE. because I'm focused on peace and love. And my request to you, my asks to you, my call to action to you is to push love. Because remember this, love people, and hurt people, and push people, which is why I've got Lady J on the show with me this morning. And thank you so much, Lady J, for being here. Definitely
Thank you
appreciate
for
you.
having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching my show. I didn't even, lady say, "Oh, I
You
watch
didn't
your
even know I
show."
was watching it,
I was
did you?
like,
I
"I
was
got this." I
watching
was
your
like,
show
"Oh,
for,
that's good," you
oh
know.
my goodness. You've been coming on for probably like, I've been watching for about 2 years now. Didn't you used to come on with your wife or something?
That was my mom.
Okay, that's how long I've been watching.
Wow, that's been a long So this
Yeah.
actually this year is our 5th anniversary, and I'm gonna invite you to our 5th anniversary show,
Okay.
which is gonna be this summer. And
Okay.
yeah, my mom is she's in Gambia, so I'm gonna do a show from there in
Oh,
August. I'm gonna do a
okay.
show from Gambia. We're gonna do a few shows around the world
Okay.
this year. We
Okay.
definitely for our 5th anniversary, we're gonna do some things to make it real special and celebrate.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
definitely, we pushing you all the time,
Thank
so
you so
can
much.
you can count on that. So, Lady J, all of our viewers, this is the Piece of the Morning Show, and we're gonna go on out with the Queen, Ayasuda Bay. Blow by. Remember, just let it blow by. Don't let it hold on to you. Blow by.
Yes. I like that.
Just like that. That's how to blow by. Well, that's how quick the blow by went. Bam. Yeah, missing my brother DJ 5 Star. That's right. Love you much. Hey, Josephine Brown, thank you so much. Common leader, Squeezy Maker. What's up, Queen? Yeah, Lady J in the house. Have a great day, my people.
I like that.
Ow. This is Blow by Queen Ayasuda Bay and the Earth Blessings Royal Court Orchestra. Check her out. Listen to her. Listen to the words.
Wise man does not judge another man's mistakes, and the patient man
Is always willing to
wait. Forbearance causes self-possession to work. And you know a kind man, he never knows how to hurt. These are the virtues
for
you and for me. Oh, this is the way that I live. And these are the things that I see. My mama, she told me, she said, blow by, blow by, blow by, got to blow by, blow.
All right, one more verse. Let's check it out.
A person who is charitable expresses a brotherly love, and devotion is a service to the Almighty One whom you love. With courage we can marshal our very own power, and with precision we become exact, more accurate by the hour.
What you say, Mom? These are the virtues for you and for me. This is the way that I live, and these are the things that I see. My mama, she told me, she said, blow, 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 bye. Ow. Blow, whoa, 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 blow, whoa, 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 bye. Here we go, y'all. Hey, make sure you go to our YouTube and subscribe to the Peace in the Morning show on YouTube. That's Peace in the Morning on YouTube.
be patient, unbelovable, and please be kind. Keep discrimination and discipline in the back of your mind. And be lovable and understanding and obedient to your truths. 'Cause these are the only real.
All right, these are the only reals.
Oh, these are the only real. Yeah, these are the only real.
Funky Friday, baby.
Oh, these are the only real.
Here we go. Blow by. All right, that's Blow by Queen Ayasudube Earth Blessings Royal Court Orchestra.
That song is serious. Please give me her information.
I would definitely hook her up.
I was like, come in here and listen to that. That's amazing. I love that.
And you know what's so powerful? The lyrics, right?
Yes.
On top of the music sound is so sweet and so funky and so groovy, but the lyrics are so serious. I'll definitely make sure. Hey, this is Darius A. Stanton with Dr. Lady J. Thank you so much for joining us on the Peace in the Morning Show. It's Funky Friday, baby. Love you much.
Bye, y'all.
Peace in the morning.